G'day YouTube and welcome back to the channel. I don't usually do this, but I'm going to do a bit of a product review on a new tool that I've purchased. I was very skeptical when I first saw these things advertised and thought, no, it's probably going to be crappy and, um, cheap, nasty. It was reasonably cheap for what it does. So I thought it probably wasn't going to be very good. So I resisted it for a while, but eventually decided, I'll fork out the dough and see if it's any good or not. And I'm happy to say I'm very pleased with it. So I'll throw in some screenshots of the actual product itself. It sold for $169.99 Australian. So given an Australian dollars of somewhere around about 66 US cents. If you're watching in America, it's going to be closer to $100. And it was free postage. So, 170 Australian, $100 American for an air jack, 3-ton. So great for in your workshop for your car if you've got a good concrete floor. I will give you a bit of a demo of how this works. First of all, it is pneumatic, so it runs on your compressed air. It lifts from 140 millimeters to 450 millimeters, so you're effectively getting around about 310 millimeters of lift, which is a bit over a foot. I believe, from memory, it says you need to have around about 125 psi compressor strength in order to function. Now, my compressor is only a small compressor. It's a decent capacity. I've extended it to air storage and everything so that I can do spray painting. And with spray painting, you never go up to 125 psi. So I don't have a large psi compressor. So I was a bit concerned that maybe it wouldn't work. But I have used it on this car now. It's only a Tirana. I've lifted the back end directly under the diff once and did it in a breeze. I then lifted the right front corner where the motor is. Simple. I put these go jacks under so that I could push the car over to the side on each corner, and then I went around the other side and put a go jack under that side. So I've used it 3 times, up and down, up and down, and up and down, and compressor still hasn't turned on. So that is not an issue with it. So yeah, I shall include some screenshots and probably a link to where I purchased mine. I think you can get them at many sites, but I shall put a link into where I got my jack. So if you think it's a good deal, you can go yourself and buy one. So what I'll do is I'll just tilt the camera down a little bit first. I'll show you how quickly and easily it lifts the car. You can now see it's just got at this end, it has 2 air valves with gates on them, a green one and a red one. You plug your air compressor into the green one. Make sure you're in the right spot. That should be okay there. And then you just turn the pressure on. There you go. So that's how easy it is to do. I just lifted it up then. Obviously, that was, like I said before, the 4th time that I've used it without the compressor turning on. That time the compressor turned on. It'll probably run for a while now. So I'll wait for that to shut up before I do any more videoing, but that's how easy it is to get it up. Now I'm going to take this wheel off, put it on the jack stand so I can continue working on this corner. To get it come down, I'll zoom in on this, there's a couple of ways you can do it. The suggestion is that you just use this very slowly, lets it down. The more you open it up, obviously, the quicker it comes down. Now it's sitting on the jack, on the stand, and there we go. The pressure comes out, but you can also take it off and open that one out as well to let it come down quicker. So what I'll do is I'll put it back on again, lift it back up so that it's a double layer of security for my stand. So it's just got some pressure on it now. That's how quickly it comes up. It's just got on the jack stands with this pressurized as well. With them closed, you can now get that out of the way, and she's all good. So that's in there nicely, and yeah, I think it is actually a tool that I would very strongly recommend if you want to do work on your car and you're lifting it up and down, putting it up and moving it around all that often. In a situation like restoring an old car and you want to slide it around in your workshop, it's just so much more convenient than put a trolley jack under and pump, lifting it up and all this sort of rubbish. The thing I forgot to mention was this outlet was the wrong type for my Nito style. Wrong type for my Nito style coupling. So it's a standard 10mm BSP thread. So I just pulled out the original male coupling fitting and put in a Nito style coupling fitting so that it just clips on there nice and easily. They're only cheap fittings I've got, so unfortunately when you're doing this to put it on, you can't just press it, which a lot of the good quality ones you can. You have to pull this, press it down and then hook it in, but that's just because I'm too cheap to buy the good ones. Okay, just some close-ups of the product that I have done the review on. Here we go. I'll come in here and you can see what I was talking about here. You've got a red valve to let the pressure off. That's perforated, so that lets the air out nice and slowly. You've got a green valve which you can turn on and off. Open the valve up and up she goes. Open that valve up and down she goes. Obviously no pressure on it at the moment, but if I put a little bit of pressure on it, like so, and she goes. I have no idea about longevity as I've only just started using it, but as you can see, it goes down pretty low. So we have a three-point adjustable handle here to be able to lift it, pull that out, goes up to the top for storage, and down to the bottom to be able to slide it in underneath your car. If you're putting it under the middle of your diff, say, that pulls out. Normally if you're under the side of the car, you'd have it there. So a very simple design. Got the handle there, pretty crappy connector between these two items so they can pack it into a small box. It'd be better if it had a single straight tube all the way through without this bracket on there, but you know, that is what it is. The only thing I can see going wrong with this in the future, because I've replaced these valves, don't see much going wrong with those, but this valve on here is just a screw-on fitting, so that may at some stage, you've got light in the background, sorry about that, may at some stage start to leak, but quite potentially not. The main thing I can see going wrong with it in the future is these airbags. I don't know how strong this stuff is, so I don't know over time when it goes up and down and up and down and up and down whether they'll start to perforate. and spring a leak. But for $100 US, the speed of using it, the ease of using it, convenience compared to getting your large jack. I got one over there and one over there, and they're just, they're a pain in the ass, quite frankly. Obviously, you can use them when you don't have any compressed air. So not having compressed air would be an issue. So I think that's really all I can show you about it. Little wheels on there are flimsy, but no, I shouldn't say flimsy. Small. You're only rolling it around on them. Not going to do any harm. It swivels nicely on the pad that's on the bottom. Right, flip that over. It's just got a high point in the middle. You can see scrapey high point there that it sits on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hex head countersunk bolts that connect the bag to the unit. So I believe a tool well worth purchasing. I give it my recommendation. Okay, peoples, buy it if you want it. Don't if you don't want to. Bye for now.